We are so glad that you are here today to talk with us more about this incredible opportunity that we have prepared for you. We believe that this is not only revolutionary for the industry, but we believe it's going to be extremely influential on the rest of your life because of the power that it holds and what it can do from you from a financial standpoint, from a team standpoint, and a growth standpoint. So let's go ahead and dive right into things now. Did you know that less than 5% of franchises grow to 100 territories? Okay, less than 5% grow to 100 territories. It's a rare achievement. And we're offering a unique opportunity where you can help others join that elite 5%. So you actually get the chance to help and partner with others to help them grow and scale and hit that 5%, which is amazing because not only can it be great for you, but you can also give back to others in the process, which is incredible, and it makes things so much more fulfilling in our experience. Absolutely. So, are you self-motivated? That is the big question here. Are you somebody who is saying, I want to take my financial future, I want to take my business future in my hands, and I'm not going to just continue with the way that things were. I want to be able to be the one that shapes my destiny and shapes my future. If you're motivated like that, this is perfect for you. And do you enjoy big ticket sales? Look, there's nothing wrong if you're somebody who likes to just do smaller transactions. No fault whatsoever in that. But this is a big ticket sale. And what's amazing about big ticket sales is it gives you obviously a big ticket opportunity as well. So if you are one of those people, then we are the partners that you've been looking for. So the question is, why partner with Franchise Factory? I think that's an incredible question that we need to be asking ourselves. And the answer to that is because we're part of that 5%. We've done it. We've been there. We've made it happen. And when you want to go somewhere, one of the most important things to look at is to follow guides and listen to people who have been there themselves. You get much better advice. You hear about the bumps and the bruises. You hear about the tweaks that you have to do in order to get to that place. It's a much better strategy. So we're proud to be part of that elite 5%. We're proud to give this opportunity to you and to have been those trailblazers so that you can follow along and do something incredible for yourself here. So let's talk a little bit about our previous franchise, Solar Grids. Solar Grids is a franchise that is getting ready to be publicly traded. We've merged with another company that has 100 plus territories when we had it in our control. In under 3 years, we got to those 100 plus territories with no investors and 100% bootstrapped. And when you think about something like that in the franchising space, I'll tell you how it typically goes because we've had these conversations where we talk to somebody saying, well, did you use a great FSO? Who was doing the sales for you? How much investor money did you take? All these questions. And the answer is no. We did that and we built that ourselves. And though it was extremely challenging, it has absolutely had those moments that are like those dark nights of the soul. The reality is we wouldn't change a single thing, and the reason why we wouldn't change it is because the lessons that we learned are gifts that we can give back to people and help people. And those people, specifically in this case, are you. So we are so proud to have that opportunity to be able to give this investment back to you. Now, moving forward, it doesn't stop there, and this is really key. So it doesn't stop with us. It's not just about us. It's about so much more. So these are just a few of the 750 franchise brands that we've launched. Just a few of them. Marco's Pizza, you're going to see Lululemon in there. You'll see Tim Hortons in there, 2 Men in a Truck, Ford, Jimmy John's. Most of these places, I'm guessing you've probably seen in your local communities, okay? So this is much bigger than just us on an individual level. We've done this on a massive scale. One of the names that you're not even going to see on there is McDonald's Canada. We helped them launch into franchising as well. So we're incredibly proud of this. We've done some great work and we've built some great brands, and we're so proud of where those brands have been able to go and what they've done in that process. Okay. But that is also not where it stops. There's more on top of that. We've also worked with individuals, incredibly successful individuals. We worked with Floyd Mayweather, with Mike Tyson, with Brooke Castillo, which was extremely famous within the coaching space. We worked with Rich Franklin, who was a past UFC champion. Sean Merriman, who played in the NFL but now has multiple businesses. And Dan Fleischman, who some people may not know his name, but what's amazing about Dan is he actually was the founder. He was the youngest founder of a publicly traded company at 18 years old. I believe it was an energy drink company. So incredible work that he was doing, incredible work that each one of these people have done, and that's not even the exhaustive list whatsoever. So we're proud to not only have been part of growing our own franchise, but growing other franchises and being able to help individuals in a dynamic way through a proven model and proven system. So, who are we? And that is the question of the hour, right? So this is our executive team right here. We have Justin on the far left, who's the chief executive officer. The second from the left. We have Larry, who's the president. Third from the left, we have Nick, who is the chief marketing officer. And on the far right, Chris Connor, an absolute legend within the marketing space, who's our director of franchising. Combined, we have 90 plus years of real world experience in franchise development, branding, marketing, private equity, sales, you name it. There's a massive amount of experience that has come together to build this here. And what's beautiful about it is we've helped 750 plus franchises launch. We've sold more than 9,700 franchise units, and we've launched 500 master franchises in the process, above and beyond growing our own franchise. So there's a lot of experience here, and it's super incredible. What you're going to see next is we're going to look at each individual. We're not going to go too deep into this because I know that you came here to understand more about the offer, not just have a meet and greet and a mixer, okay? We can save that for another time. But Nick, just to give a quick high level here, Nick's been in marketing for close to 20 years here, has been really successful, worked as a fractional CMO, chief revenue officer, chief marketing officer, so many different things that he's done within his career. So we're proud to have him on board and his abilities to be able to scale and grow our marketing side of things. We, of course, have Chris, who's an absolute legend, has built an entire system, A to Z, to be able to launch and skyrocket franchises, has built incredible franchises, some of which we've already talked about. Some more you're going to see here in his actual bio. Then we jump into Larry. Larry has a massive amount of experience, along with Justin, who I'm going to show you in a minute. Incredible founders who bootstrapped and grew, rolled up the sleeves, and built solar grids from the ground up. So that's incredible, on top of all their investment experience, franchising experience. And then moving into Justin here, as I was just talking about. So he has structured over $200 million in solar projects into tax equity deals. Justin, he is unparalleled in his ability to truly transform visions into tangible successes. And I want to highlight that because I think that's so important for you, right? When you talk about somebody who's a visionary, that's great. It's awesome to have those round tables where you're talking to somebody who inspires you. We all need that kind of thing, but we also need that individual who's willing to say, look, with my team here, we're going to put the pieces together and we're going to build something that truly is going to be able to be implemented and transformative in the real world. It's more than ideas, it's action. And action is what propels things forward. Okay? So, what's your role? That is the million-dollar question. It's the biggest question that we want to talk about here. It's two words when it comes down to it. Number one, sell. This is a sales opportunity. And we'll talk to you a little bit more about what that opportunity looks like in a second, but there's a sales opportunity at its core. So all my salespeople out there, raise your hand up, get super excited, because this is a great chance for you. If you love to sell, if you live and breathe sales, this is for you. If you're somebody who's like, hey, I want to do all the operation stuff, it could also be for you as well. But especially those salespeople out there, and especially those people who want to build a team in sales and scale an organization, is 100% for you. So word number one is sell. Second word, build. We not only want you to sell things, we want you to build something that is special here. And there are incredible opportunities to build something that's special, and we're going to talk about it in a minute. But you're going to ask, what will I sell? I am a salesperson, I love to sell, or I can at least get people around me and inspire them to sell who are a part of my organization. I can at least do that, okay? But what will I sell? That's a great question. So there's 3 different core services that we offer, and each one of these services match with the audiences that they serve, okay? Let's start here with build. So with build, this is helping franchises launch. So when you think about this one, this is that individual who's maybe somebody doing, 300 to 500K per year. Maybe they're working a 9 to 5. Maybe they're in a C-suite kind of position, and they're thinking, I really would like to launch a franchise or buy into a franchise, okay? But maybe they're really saying, like, I could buy into a franchise, but I really want to launch one because I have an incredible business model, an incredible idea, and I want to get this off the ground, and I need to find a team who's going to help me do that effectively because I know there's a lot of pitfalls, right? That would be build. We help that person launch their new franchise, right? Or maybe they have an existing business right now, and that existing business is doing exceptionally well. They're tight on operations, they're good on sales, they have strength in marketing, they know that they have a rock star team, but they're saying, hey, you know what? I have something great here. How do I multiply this? How do I make this even bigger? Well, the way that you multiply it, the way that you make it bigger is through franchising. That is one of the awesome opportunities to multiply and to scale. Outside of acquisitions and all that stuff, franchising is a credible thing, and that is an audience we serve. We help that person launch a franchise through our Road to Ready blueprint. But what's so beautiful about this is you don't have to do the implementation. We're not asking you to do all the paperwork, to do all the legal, to do all the operations. There's a lot of work that's involved with that. What we're asking you to do is we're asking you to sell this to them. And that's where your role stops. You sell it to them and you send it to us and we facilitate the rest. And that is beautiful if you are a salesperson. All of my salespeople are like, yes, this is amazing. This is exactly what I want, right? And then the next offer up here is scale. So with scale, you help franchisors add units. So in the simplest possible terms, let's say that a franchisor comes to you and says, hey, you know what? I started a franchise, I have 10 locations, but you know what? I know that part of franchising is scaling. And so I want to turn my 10 locations into 50 locations. How do I do that? Well, the way that you do that, if you're talking to us, is through our rapid growth sales system that we built from the ground up, modeled, tested, data proven on ourselves to be effective and to help them scale. And the beauty of it is your job is to sell that to them. Again, we facilitate the rapid growth sales system. You just sell it to them. And then you send it over to us and we take care of the rest. Next up here is dominate. So with dominate, this is actually extremely rare in this space. So you're going to have a franchisee, meaning like an individual location, not a franchisor who owns the whole thing, but a franchisee who has an individual location. And they're going to say, you know what? I just kind of really need to scale my sales. I need more sales and I need more leads and I need to be able to build my business. This is going to be somebody who almost falls more in that like traditional digital marketing category. That's like, man, you know, what is out there that can be a good resource for this? And our Master Your Market program is incredible for those individuals. It has a cutting edge technology, fully managed services. We have an entire system that we built and that we've proven on our own franchisees. We implement that. We help them move forward with that. But again, the beauty of this is when you're talking to that individual, you sell this to them. You don't actually have to do the fulfillment. You sell this to them and then you hand it off, which we think is really, really incredible. So again, this goes back to word number one, which is to sell. We need you to sell and we need you to sell and we need you to sell. So that is what we're looking for. And I think that probably the people that resonates with are going to say like, oh, I can sell, throw me in the game, right? So that is the core services. That's what they serve on that side of things. And I don't want to go too deep into this, but I want to add one really cool thing about Dominate. When you think about Dominate and when you think about a franchise, think about this. Let's say that there is a franchisee in your area. Maybe it's a 2 location. Like in my area, there's a few locations of Orange Theory as an example. Let's say that I sell this service to 2 of those Orange Theory locations. They talk to the other locations. They also talk to corporate. They talk to the franchisor. So when we build this system and when we execute and we do great work for them, who do you think is going to get the referrals? That's going to come back to you. That's going to be more opportunities for you, which means more sales for you, more sales for your team. So there are great ways to think about this and great ways to scale this with these core offers. And it handles every single stage from somebody who's just starting a franchise to somebody who's a franchisee. Every single step of the way, we got them covered and we just are looking for somebody to sell effectively. And that person we're hoping is you. So let's talk about the next word. The next word is build, right? And the question is this: what will you build? Okay, so you know that you have to sell, but now you want to know, what do you have to build? Well, let's dive into that. There are 2 paths to success with building. There's 2 options that you can choose for building. Here's what those options look like. One option is an advisor. So there's an advisor role. The next option is a franchisee. They have different qualifications, there's different things that go into them, but at the end of the day, there's the advisor and then there's the franchisee. So let's dive into what's different between the two. Okay, so choose how to join us. If you want to be an advisor, it's obviously going to be a lower entry point, as you can see over here, lower advisor fee, lower monthly tech fee for what we provide to you, which we're super excited to dive into that because all this stuff that we're talking about and these incredible systems, we're going to be able to set you up and equip you with those things too. So you're going to be super excited about that part, which we'll discuss on a call if this is the right opportunity for you. But we're super excited to go into that. With that being said, on the advisor side of things, it's a lower entry fee. It's somebody who kind of wants to dip their toe in the water, but they're ambitious and they want to move forward with their career and they're tired of maybe like working that like 9 to 5 or working in a system where they're like, gosh, I don't really feel like I'm working in my gifting, or I don't really feel like I'm having the opportunities that I want. This is a great way to enter into that, okay? In a really simple and accessible way. And not only that, to build a team under you and to earn money on each one of those team members. Not only that, also be put into a company equity pool and have ownership in Franchise Factory, ownership in our main company. So there's an actual equity pool that you can be in even as an advisor. As a franchisee, obviously the entry point is going to be a little bit higher, right? So it's not going to be $99. It's going to be $25,000 for entry into this. And then the tech fee is just a little bit higher too, because there's a lot more setup and a lot more programming, as you can imagine, for a franchisee rather than an advisor, okay? The beauty of a franchisee is that you earn on infinite generations. So if you're a franchisee and you add 100 people to your team or 50 people to your team, you're going to earn on each one of those individually as well as what you earn personally. Okay, so that's the beautiful part about it. Not only that, we have an actual dedicated equity pool just for franchisees. And as you can imagine, there's a lot more advisors than there are franchisees. So that pool is going to be smaller, which means that you own a lot more of it. Okay, so that's an incredible thing. It's a totally separate pool, and that's a huge opportunity right there. So let's dive into what the benefits are of this, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the specifics. The benefits of this entire thing are multiple income streams. We have built into this the ability for you to have multiple income streams so that you continue to grow, you continue to scale, you continue to build. It's more than you just selling on an individual basis. It's you building something revolutionary that can completely change your future, especially on the financial side of things, right? Recurring revenue. We don't want it to just stop with a one and done kind of sale. We want to say, yes, you're going to get something for that. We also want to set something up where you're having recurring revenue that continues to come in, right? So you feel that confidence. I've been in sales before, and I can tell you one of the things that is the scariest is when you close a deal and then you think, oh man, I just start all the way back at zero the next month. Well, I have to go out and try to find another way to make this happen again. You know, it's so much easier and it's so much more comforting when you have a base there that's been built on recurring revenue, and you can go out and capture additional things too. So we love that. Not only that, the growth incentive points are huge on the equity side of things. The ability to actually have incentives to get more equity in the company is massive, and it is extremely rare in a space like this. And the coolest part about this is no territories. We don't restrict you to a certain zip code. We don't restrict you to a certain state or a certain city. You have unlimited territories. The world, well, the United States is your oyster. So go after it. Definitely sell in as many places as you want to. We want to create those opportunities, right? And then, of course, on top of all this, we supply you with full training and full support. And what's beautiful about that, not to go too far back into the past, but to talk a little bit about this, because we've been there and because we've actually done the grunt work and we've actually grown things ourselves, we understand those pitfalls, right? So our training is not like other training. Our training is not like, well, here's a manual, like hopefully it works out for you. Have you ever done it? No, I've never really tried it, but I know some things about it. Totally different. Knowing something about a thing and actually doing that thing and having experience in it, right? So you have an experienced team here all the way to the top who is able to equip you with the right kind of training and support for you to be successful. All right. So let's talk about building a team, and let's talk about the mechanics of that and the financials of that, right? So first of all, let's get the high level stuff. Build your future. Both advisors and franchisees can build a team and earn revenue. We know that. Advisors can earn commissions on up to 5 generations deep, benefiting from the success of their entire team. All right. So they can also build a team and they can also get money from each one of their team members. On top of that, franchisees have unlimited earning potential by earning commissions on an infinite number of advisor generations. So the benefit of being a franchisee is many things, but one of the benefits is you can build the team as big as you want to, and you get overrides on every single person within that team, which is outstanding, right? So both advisors and franchisees, just so that we're all clear, have the ability to earn equity points. They have separate pools. They earn it in a little bit different ways, but at the end of the day, they all have the opportunity to have ownership in the main company, which is something that we want to do and something that we wanted to implement because we are firm believers in doing something together. We don't just want it to be about us. We don't just want to sit up here and be at the top and praise ourselves. We want it to be about individuals and having them as part of this and having ownership in something. We feel that's special, and we're super excited for that opportunity for the right people to be part of this, to have that ownership within the company. Now, this system encourages both advisors and franchisees to grow their team, and that is what it comes down to. When we talk about team, we talk about growth. Sure, being a lone wolf and doing great in sales is awesome, but being able to grow that team and equip that team with the ability to sell is going to be so much more profitable in the long run, okay? So let's dive into the mechanics. So let's talk about this. So for each one of the core offers, as you remember, there was build, there was scale, and there was dominate. Each one of those offers serves different people. Okay, so for each one of those offers, there's a little bit different revenue share model. Okay, so when you talk about somebody helping to launch a franchise, let's discuss this. So each one of these people, whether it's an advisor, a silver advisor, platinum advisor, or a franchisee, each one of those collects 20%. Okay, when a deal is closed, they collect 20% of that deal on an individual basis. So that's great from a sales standpoint. But where the money is really at and where the revenue is really at is what you see here in the generations. So this breakdown below here talks about the percentage that you get with these generations. So let's say that you're an advisor over here, and let's say that you bring on another advisor under you, and that advisor sells a deal, and that advisor gets 20% of that deal. You also get 1.25% of that deal. So in addition to your own deals, you also get 1.25% of that deal as well. So that is really, really substantial when you talk about it and how quickly something like this can scale, especially with how we equip you for success, for the opportunities that we're going to give you above and beyond anything that you're doing on an individual basis, because that is important to know. We don't just say, buy into our system and you're out there on an island. Hopefully it works out for you. We invest into you. We invest into you with opportunities. We invest into you with chances to actually sell to people so that you can close deals. It's not just you on an island. No matter if you're an advisor or you're a franchisee, we want you to grow and we want you to scale. So that's how it works when you talk about build, which is launching new franchises, okay? Helping somebody to launch a new franchise, selling somebody on launching a new franchise. Let's talk about the next thing, revenue share with scale. So with scale, we talk about helping franchisors add units. Remember the example of the franchisor who comes to you maybe with 5 locations and they want to get up to 50 locations, and you say, hey, we can help with a rapid growth system to get you up to those 50 locations. When you sell that to them, this is what the structure looks like. So you're going to get 75% on that deal, okay? 75% of that deal, which is massive, right? It's not 100%, but it's 75%. So you get a huge amount of money in terms of closing one of those deals. And what's beautiful is this. That's when you really look at the generations here, because this is really the special one, right? So you get 75% when you close one of those deals for yourself. And then if you bring on another advisor under you, and that advisor sells one of those deals, you get 5% from them. Okay, and that's how it works with advisor. When you move up to a silver advisor, you not only get 5% of that, but let's say that that advisor under you brings on another advisor and that person closes the deal. You get 4% from that person as well, right? So you see how it works in a chain for you to continuously get additional revenue all the way down the chain. And by the way, this isn't 100% the same by any means. Like, we've made this truly special and we made it a lot stronger in our opinion. No offense, but a lot stronger. But it does have some similarities to like the EXP model. But with that being said, we're super excited about this because we know that this one is totally revolutionary. It's totally different. It's not like what's out there, and it gives you a chance for a much lower lift, a much, much, much lower lift to make a significantly higher amount of money. So that's something that we love about this. But when you look at this overall, like we said, 75% when you bring on that franchisor who wants to add those locations, and then each one of the team members below you, you're going to get a percentage of their deal too. Especially on the franchisee side, when you look at that, it's mind-blowing. It's really, really cool the way that that works, right? And it encourages you to just continue adding team members and continue scaling. So let's talk about the last offer here. The last one with the revenue share model is to dominate. So with dominate, we help franchises generate more leads and sales. We talked about that one earlier. A single franchisee comes, and I'm going to talk about something in a second, but it's going to really excite you. We have a single franchisee who comes, and they're looking for ways to grow their sales through lead generation. We're able to set them up with Master Your Market. We implement the entire system. We increase their sales and leads. And that is beautiful because you're going to get 10% of that deal if you're an advisor, a silver advisor, or platinum advisor. You're going to get 15% of that deal if you close the deal and you're a franchisee. And then you get a 5% override on every single person in your organization. This is why you should be a franchisee. You get a 5% override on every single person in your organization who closes those deals. So let's say that you have 50 people who are in your franchise, 50 salespeople who are under you, who are in your franchise, okay? And let's say that each one of those 50 people closes 10 deals, 10 of these deals. That's 500. You get 5% of the revenue generated from that 500 deals, okay? And these are not tiny deals. These are not baby deals. So that is incentive enough to eventually, and not saying you have to start here, but incentive enough to eventually jump onto that franchisee boat and to be able to grow and scale something in addition to all the equity points that we've already talked about. So that's massive as far as this goes. But the beauty of this entire thing, and this is what I was just talking about a second ago, is let's say that you are a platinum advisor, and let's say that you close 10 of these deals under a single franchise, right? There's 10 franchisees in a single area. They're all like, hey, we want to increase our leads and sales. You sell to each one of those, and then those franchisees tell the franchisor, they tell corporate, and then corporate says, you know what, this is a great solution that I think could be awesome for our other franchisees. Then you not only got revenue, percentages of revenue on those deals, you also are moving now back into being somebody who could close that franchisor deal and spread this out to entire franchise, so you're making even more revenue. So there are so many ways, and that's why when we say multiple income streams, there truly are multiple income streams here. Okay? So let's talk a little bit about growth incentive points. We've talked obviously about the revenue side of things, the growth incentive points. I want to make something clear right out of the gate because I talked about it, but I think it's really important to go back to it. There's two separate equity pools. There is a 5% equity pool for advisors, silver advisor, and platinum advisor. Okay? There is a separate 10% equity pool for franchisees. So these are two separate pools, and it's really, really important to know that. Okay, and so when you talk about equity bonuses, this is a cool thing. When you join as an advisor, obviously you're not going to get anything right out of the gate as an advisor, okay? Like there's work that has to be done that's an entry level. Even though it's not an entry level position, it's the start of your journey. When you become a silver advisor, which by the way is when you get 3 people under you, so if you get 3 people under you, you become a silver advisor. When you become a silver advisor, you automatically get 5,000 equity points, okay? So based on just getting that promotion, you get more equity in the company. And then, of course, when you become a platinum advisor, you get 10,000 points, right? So you get even more points on top of that, right? So we give you more equity, and this is a beautiful thing about it, okay? And then when you talk about the actual equity points earned, so it's 50 points per franchise sale for advisors, 100 points for franchise sale for silver advisors, then platinum get 300, and then obviously the franchisees get the lion's share of it, so 1,000 for every single franchise sale. So when we talk about franchise sale, what I want to say is when you sell and when you close a new franchise, you're getting these points for that. So you just get additional points the more that you sell. Not only do you make revenue, right? Not only do you make money like right here and right now, you get more ownership in the company overall, right? And so when you bring on additional people, you also get more people, you also get more equity points, right? So it's not just when you close a deal yourself, it's when you bring on team members, right? So you might have a franchisee who's closing like 10 deals a month. We're talking 10,000 points there. And let's say that they're bringing on 5 people a month, right? Or even 4 people a month. You got 1,000 points there. So you're at 11,000 points on top of that, right? And plus you just get even more stake within the equity pool. So that's how the growth incentive points work. Obviously, there's probably going to be some questions on that. We are more than happy to dive into this in more detail. There's naturally going to be some questions that even I have popping in my mind right now, but I want to save that for the conversation that we have when we talk about this, because it's an incredible opportunity to not just grow and have ownership, but it's also an incredible opportunity to have revenue right now. And the beauty of all this is, I'll tell you what our goal is. Our goal is to 100% go public with this. And we've seen other models do similar things and go public, and it's been incredibly profitable for people in those models. And we have a great team here. We believe in this team. We believe in the future of this company, and we are building something special from the ground up here. And we're super excited for you to be one of those people who raise your hand and say, I can sell, I can build a team, I want to have ownership in the company, and I want to grow and I want to make revenue right now. It's really significant what we're doing on our side of things, okay? So who are we looking for? Now let's close this out with a little bit more about who we're looking for, right? So those who have proven sales experience. We understand that there's ambitious people, and we're not going to just close the door on that. We want to have a conversation with you. We are looking for people who have proven sales experience. We're looking for people that have leadership that inspires, right? We love that you are a rock star salesperson. We can absolutely work with those people. We're also looking for somebody who comes in and says, you know what, I want to build something. I want to grow something really special for myself. I want to build generational wealth. I want to develop a team. We think that's incredibly powerful, right? Obviously, exceptional networking skills. We want you to be personable. We want you to be able to have some really good conversations with people. Communication mastery. This is written communication. This is verbal communication. Understanding how to listen to people, understanding how to communicate with them, sell to them, of course, and then strategic vision execution. So you don't just look at like the minutia and the tiny details. You're able to stand back and see the vision of things too, okay? And then you're able to implement a clear strategy for yourself and for your team that hits that vision, that executes on that vision, all right? So closing out here, all you need is the plan, the roadmap, and the courage to press on to your destination, okay? That's all you need. Earl said that. All you need is the plan, the roadmap, and the courage to press on to your destination. There are a million opportunities out there, okay? But there are very few that give you the ability to do something special with this low of a lift this quickly compared to this right here. So we have the plan. We have the plan because we've proven it on ourselves. We've done it ourselves. We've been there, right? We have the roadmap. We've built that out in detail over years of experience and with our entire team here and with the incredible team that we have under us, right? Now, we have the courage. The question is, do you have the courage? And we hope you do, because we would love to work with you. We'd love to at least talk with you about this and see if it's a win-win for you, okay? So don't wait. Don't wait. The time will never be just right. I love that Napoleon Hill said this because it's true. You can wait and you can wait and you can think, and I've been guilty of this as much as anybody else in so many areas of my life, and I look back on it and I think, you know what? Sometimes you just have to leap. You just have to give this a chance. You have to believe in yourself. I remember my friend Josh said that to me when he jumped into something like this. He said, you know what? I finally decided after 10 years at my company every single day wishing that things would get better and hoping that things would get better and sometimes getting a promotion, sometimes getting a little bit more money. I'd finally decided at the end of that, I'm going to bet on me. I'm going to believe in me. I'm going to believe that I can do something really special. And we believe in that. We believe in that for you. Do you believe in that for you? We hope that you do, because we do believe that we're doing something incredibly special here, and we'd love to have you on board with it. We're so thankful for your time. We're so thankful for this opportunity to talk with you, and we are super excited to continue the conversation. Thank you so much. Have a great day. We'll be in touch.